Up next on Sci-Fi Fantasy, Superboy. Hey everybody, it's Kenny Conklin from SciFiFantasy.com and welcome to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing a little on Superboy, but before we get to that, I've got a couple announcements to make. If you go over to our channel, Model Builder International, we've hit 500 subscribers over there, and Paul is giving a 3-kit giveaway. So I think it's a plane, a tank, and a Patriot missile carrier, 2 in 1/72nd scale and 1 in 1/35th scale. So go over there, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment in the comments section that says I'm in or something like that. This way we know, and then we can get you into the drawing for that. And the second major thing is Tommy, Paul, and I have started our own online hobby shop. It's hobbylinkinternational.com, which I'll put a link over here. This way you can go check it out. Right now all we have is ships on there, 1/700 scale, 1/350 scale, and a bunch of PE sets, and some more stuff is coming to the site over there. I know I'm talking to Neil Wooding over at Wild House Models, and we're going to be putting some of his stuff up on the site and selling that, and we'll see what else we can get in. So enough out of me about that. Let's take a look and see what we've done with the Superboy kit. Okay, the first thing I did on the cave after priming it was I tried to fill the seam on the sides, but it just wasn't going away, and it ended up looking like a big hump. So what I did is I took a paintbrush and I cut it down. This way I could stipple Bondo onto the sides and make a much more rough surface and try to blend it all in and make it look right. Here I'm just spraying up the cave with USA Gray by Vallejo paint. I started hand painting it, and then I was like, why am I doing it by hand when I could do it a lot quicker with my airbrush? So that's just the base layer. Now once I was done with this, I thought I was still recording everything that was going on, and the battery died and I didn't know it, so I lost doing the weathering of it, dry brushing, and all that other good stuff that was on the front of the cave once this portion was done. Here I'm going to start to work on the inside of the cave, which is just too smooth and it doesn't look good once you paint it. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking Bondo, I'm going to smear it all around, get out the brush, and start stippling up the whole inside just to give it some sort of texture. This way when we do put on the dry brushing and we use washes and stuff like that, it has something to stick to instead of just running around and looking really smooth in there, which did not look good at all. Here you can see where it's all textured up. It looks a lot better. It's hard to record the inside of the cave just because of the shadows and everything, how it is, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing inside here, but that's once it's all dried. It's not smooth anymore and it'll look much better. So here, instead of airbrushing the paint on, I decided to go by hand. This way I didn't mess up anything I did on the outside, because of course I decided to do something after I was finished with the outside of it. So I'm just taking that same gray we used as the base coat and hand brushing inside, and you can see the texture there through the paint instead of the smooth finish it was before. Here the inside is done. It's all dried up, ready to go after I hit it with the blow dryer. And next up I'm using Tester's clear acrylic gloss. This way we can gloss coat it, let that dry, and then we can do the wash. I learned using the Mr. Surfacer or the Mr. Super Clear Matte, you can't use a hair dryer on it, because if you do, it just goes to a gloss finish for some reason. With this paint I had no problem hitting it with a hair dryer and it stays matte. So if you're going to use the Mr. Super Clear from Mr. Hobby, don't use a hair dryer on it, just let it dry on its own, because it may mess up the finish you're looking for. Next up, using the Vallejo Black Wash from the set of 6 I got from them. This is going to be just spread all over the inside. get it into every nook and cranny in there, and then I'm going to let it dry up and work on it once it's dry. Here you can see the black is all dry. Now the next thing to do is take a wet Q-tip. I just used water to start rubbing everything off that I didn't want, and then it's going to leave in the crevices all the black and make the inside look a lot better than it did before. Once all the wash is off and it's all dried up, the next step I'm going to be doing is dry brushing, and I took a light gray from Vallejo and just dry brushed the whole inside of it to bring out the little ridges in the Mondo and also the ridges that were already molded into the cave itself. This way it gives it that much more texture and you can see what's going on in there. And that's it. It has all the texture and everything like that from the dry brushing in there. The last step is going to be to hit it with the Mr. Super Clear Matte, and the whole thing will be sealed up, and then we'll move on to another part of the build. So that's it for this video on Superboy. I think the next thing I'm going to do is hit up Crypto, do him next, and then Superboy himself will be last. I still got to do the tree, but I'm changing that up. It's only going to be one tree in the back, because if I put two, it's going to take away from Superboy. So the bigger part will be here, and then it'll branch off to something smaller on the other side. So don't forget, hit the subscribe button and the little notification icon. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, drop it in the comments section below, and come to hobbylinkinternational.com and buy something. I hope you all have a great night. Talk to you all soon. Take care, and bye-bye.